I'm just always trying to figure out, especially comedic minds I really admire. I want to get into a little bit of the workings of where they're from. I know you went to an insanely small high school in Indiana. Like, how small are we talking?
There were 105 kids in the entire school, but there were 25 in my graduating class. There were 5 girls.
Oh my God.
And 20 guys.
Jesus.
And but Chief Justice John Roberts went there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now I think it's 150 students.
It's just blown up.
7 girls.
Now it's huge. Now it's
6 girls.
But it was a great experience. And, I kind of, there's a delusion in those smaller schools where you're like, you know what? Yeah. And so I didn't have that John Hughes experience where there were the potheads and the jocks and the beautiful people. It's like everyone was everything.
Yep.
So I think that kind of had an impact where when I got to college, I wasn't swayed by I should only hang around football players or I should only do this or that.
Somewhere you got this ability. There are a lot of comedians I admire, but I know, well, they can kill in front of this crowd, but they should probably stay away from that kind of crowd, or vice versa. They have their areas. I feel like I can't imagine a crowd that you wouldn't kill in front of. You do feel like someone who talks to everybody.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. No, it is weird because having done corporates, you've done corporates.
I've done some corporate, but really not much. I sometimes the assignment is just like,
it's so bizarre.
Make sure you mention, and whatever, the CEO.
Yeah.
You make sure you mention, really get him, and something just, I don't know.
Yeah,
and then I get
you
very
look
depressed.
at the CEO and they're like, don't do that. But I used to
I hear he's a real shithead. That was my go-to line, and they'd be like, hey, we thought you had a joke or something.
Yeah, sometimes they're like, you can make fun of Mindy, she's in charge of marketing, go after her. And then you look at Mindy, I don't do that stuff but then you look at Mindy and she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm
just in charge of marketing.
It was just that one person's bad idea. Do you know what I mean? And so, but the corporate setting is such a, there is part of me that, because I feel like I can work in those corporate settings where that means that it might be all over. Because I would do a corporate show, I would bomb, and then you get off and they were like, you were great.
Yeah,
we just don't laugh. No one laughed.
They're like, we're too rich to laugh.
Yeah, well, we were golfing all day, but you were much better than the guy before who made fun of Mindy.
Yeah. This was one, as I say, I've tried to not do it too much but there was one, it was, I think, an integration, maybe with the Turner show. I can't say the name of the company, but it was a telecommunications company. And we had to do this. They said, hey, Conan, they're buying time on the show and they really want you to go. So I remember got on a plane and flew somewhere, and they say they're in there. It's the top. It wasn't and I come out, I wrote jokes because you can't do standard stuff. It's got to be for them.
Yeah.
And it's got to be about this company and stuff like that. So a lot of work went into it. I walked out there. I want to say it was about maybe 12, I think, all guys, and they were in big leather chairs that reclined slightly. And I looked out there was a big window behind them, and they had projected the famous logo of the company onto a mountain that you could see in the night through the window. So I walked out there, and it was these, and I started doing and I thought, oh, I've never felt more like a pathetic, bring the clown in.
Yeah.
Bring the clown. We're ready for the clown. And
the court jester.
And I could see
Do
some
not challenge the king too much.
Yeah. And I could see they weren't really laughing, but they had wry smiles. And occasionally I could see one of them adjust his recliner a little more.
Yeah.
And I started to make fun of the fact that the logo was projected onto a mountain.
Yeah.
Out, this all felt evil. And I'm sort of started to go off on that. And one of them deigned to crane his neck to see. Oh, yes, it is, isn't it? What is wrong with that?
Yeah.
That's as it should be, as it always is.
Yeah.
And I just left shivering. And I don't know. It was a terrible experience.
Yeah. No, there's some pretty crazy ones. Yeah. I did one where it was, I think, the top 12 dealerships of Saab or some car dealership thing. That was very weird. People just sitting at a table. Nobody wanted to see the stand-up. Have you done a birthday party? That's pretty weird.
I did a very famous person's birthday party for no money.
Oh, really?
I did it as a favor.
Oh, that must have went well. If there was no money, that means it's pure death.
It was.
Was it for the birthday person themselves or one of their children? Or something?
No, it was for the person. It was a famous person who, and it was a personal favor because they had done the show a bunch of times, and one of their management said, "Hey, Conan, would you stop by and just do?" And I remember it again, feeling like, bring him in.
Yeah,
it was just. Let's see if he amuses us.